Alrighty, well, hello there, everyone. I hope that you are having a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, nighttime, whatever time of day it may be for you, at whatever time of the circle of the earth or whatever you may be on. So we're going to be continuing and completing this painting in this sitting, but there's something really exciting that I want to begin with. And that involves this box. What could be in this box? Any guesses? Any guesses as to what could be in the box? So, as a matter of fact, if you are wondering if it's art related, well, of course, it's art related. We are in a virtual painting session. Check it out. Ta-da! We've got some brushes. Woo! What's up, everyone? We got some brushes. Oh, we got even more brushes. But wait, there's more brushes. We got some brushes, everyone. Yes, this is the brand Qualita by Creative Mark. So it is from Jerry's Artarama, of course, where I purchased these brushes. And if I like these brushes, I'll let you know. If I don't like these brushes, I'll let you know. So we'll see how these brushes do. I'm very excited to have new brushes. I've been needing new brushes for the longest time, and I mean like for the longest time. And yes, they are very inexpensive brushes, so I am hoping the best for them. I'm going to start off with, I think, one of the smaller ones for today. And let me see what the messages are. Hey Hardshot, you guessed it. Awesome. Marshall, a wand? Kind of, yeah. It's like a magic wand. Yeah, the brushes finally arrived. Also, I got these in the mail because I ordered them as well. These are Grumbacher soft, extra soft charcoal. And this is for, of course, everyone that is watching their drawing videos on Twitch. I just finished another stream today, 2 o'clock p.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. Remember, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. So yes, we have the Grumbacher Extra Soft Charcoal. So if you've ever purchased some paint brushes and you feel this texture on the paint brushes, this kind of stiffness to the paint bristles, if you ever feel that kind of stiffness, it's just the glue. The brushes usually have a little bit of glue. And I always get this question, hey Marshall, congrats on your new brushes too. And I always get this question about like, why does the new brush feel like it's like like stiff or something, and it's just the glue. So once you just kind of push the glue off, then you're ready to paint. So let's get into the painting now. So we will be completing this brush, really. We'll be completing this brush. We'll be completing this painting today. And as you read in the title, it is another addition to You Could Own This Painting. So that means during the time span of this live stream, this painting is now available. It has been pinned to the comments section here, so now you're seeing the price. It's a special sale, so as you know, if you do purchase this painting, you also get a free painting along with this on a sheet of canvas. So let's get to it. As I was saying with alkyds for the longest time now, they don't sink in, which is excellent. So I don't really have to oil out the painting. So I'm going to just incrementally use more medium so that we can follow the fat over lean principle. So hello there, everyone that is here watching the live stream. And so what I want to do is first point out that the photo reference, of course it's been posted in the community section of the YouTube channel, but I want to say that this photo reference just is not the best one to use for many reasons. So I've had to come up with a lot of things throughout the time span of this painting. This painting has been one of the most, if not, I'm going to say it's been the most difficult of all of the portrait paintings that I've done here in the virtual painting session. So I'm going to start off by laying down a little bit of medium and kind of warm up somewhere and we're going to warm up over here. So I'm adding a little bit of medium, and I'm going to paint right onto this, and I'm going to start off with the shadow tone underneath of the chin, and it's a very subtle shadow tone. It looks a little scratchy here, so I'm going to make it a little less scratchy. So first thing I do is lay down a couch, not the couch that you lay on, but just a little bedding of medium, and then I'm going to mix some transparent colors onto it, and then more opaque as we move in towards the lights. So right away, these brushes feel awesome. Hey Julie, it's someone's birthday. What's up? Sue Ann, your birthday. Let me scroll on the comments here. Sue Ann Ramos. With the new paintbrush, you are getting the first shout out with one of the new paintbrushes. Happy birthday to you, Sue Ann Ramos. Thank you so much for watching the virtual painting sessions. I hope you're having a wonderful day today on your birthday. So this is my shout out to you. Happy birthday to you. From over here in somewhere in Beltsville, Maryland, I'm wishing you a very happy birthday. Alright, so let's get to the raw umber, yellow ochre, and there are just, I do not trust the colors that I'm seeing on the photo reference there, and that's just because it's so flat. They are so flat that I just don't see too much credibility in the photograph. Now, an expert in photography can tell me why it appears so flat, but especially if you look at the picture on an iPad or something like that, like a high quality screen or monitor, the more I look at that photograph, the more I'm just like, man, I really had to invent a lot with the values, with the skin tone. See how the chin was a little bit too wide before. Now I'm adjusting it. So many things that I had to adjust. So this is probably one of the most customized of all of the paintings that I've made here. Hey Denise, I'm a beginner artist. I'm very confused about medium. From where should I start from? Oil pastels or soft pastel, acrylics or watercolor? Well, these are oil paints, so I can speak in terms of medium from an oil painting standpoint. Usually with oil painting you want to use less medium in the beginning, a little to no medium. In fact, I didn't use any to begin with, and then slowly incorporate more medium as you go. That is so that the paint film is strong. So once the painting is complete, the earlier layers have the most the earlier layers dry faster than the later layers. So this layer is going to be pretty medium heavy because it's the last layer on this painting. So again, the last layer of your painting, you can use as much medium as you want. That's how come glazing is possible. You notice that no one ever really starts with glazes. They usually glaze onto something, onto a layer of color. And that is because you glaze, like you're going to see here, onto surfaces that already have a pretty sturdy paint film on them. So let's see. Hey Monique. Hey Mad Moments. Let's see. Mad Moments Go. Love the light through the hair. Oh, thank you. It took a lot for me to build that, so thank you. So more medium as I go. And so now it's the fine details, just like last time. And this stream, you could own this painting stream, is usually the shortest of them because most of the heavy lifting is really done on Monday and Wednesday. Wednesday probably being the most, but You know, it's just small things now. Small little details. Hey Harjot, your birthday's on the 14th, coming up. Hey, someone saying, nice, made it to the stream without being 2 hours and a half late. Welcome, someone saying. Hey Dee, oh thank you for the thumbs up. Hey Steven. Oh, that's right. So I chose a title for this one. I combined a little bit of everyone's suggestions. So the title for this painting is, hold on a second, my memory. Summertime Fields of Peace. That's what I titled this painting. So a lot of suggestions were summertime, a lot of suggestions were lost in the fields, or the fields. So I decided to title it Summertime Fields of Peace. So in this painting, she is in, it's summertime of course, she's in a very peaceful scene. Peaceful, everything is peaceful. No one's fighting in the comments section in this painting. And it's a very peaceful environment where there's birds singing and just everything is good. There's no pandemic going on and life is good. This is what I have created for you. Summertime Fields of Peace. So you kind of have now a narrative built onto this painting. And yes, if you do purchase this painting, you also will get a free bonus painting on a sheet of canvas. Created by me, signed by me. So that's what the special sale is. I'm glad you liked the title, Julie, and Ingrid, and Dee Dee, and Monique. Tweaking makes a difference. Yeah, tweaking the value range. So small adjustments. Now see how it's a small gradation. It's a little less noisy than it was before. And I gotta say, these brushes feel great to use. These are all filberts. I bought all filberts, by the way. Going back to my roots, really. You know, back when I was, back in my earlier days, I was pretty much almost always used filberts, so I decided to buy a bunch of filberts. Hey Monique, I'm glazing over certain sections of the painting, not the entire thing. Hey Denise, I never see any YouTuber uploading the real-time painting in maximum quality. You are such a great artist. So thank you. Thank you, Denise. I'm glad that you are enjoying the real-time painting footage. So for instance, Monique, you were asking about the glazing. See this? I'm putting in a tiny kind of a window of tone, and I'm just slowly gradating it above the shoulder. So very slight adjustments with the most medium. And yes, please check out the please check out my online classes. Again, there's a link right there. Why filberts? Good question. Filberts are kind of like, they've been described as the workhorse brush. I think that was a quote from Natalie Italiano in one of the Studio Incaminati live streams. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, please check out Studio Incaminati here on YouTube. Filberts are nice because they are in the middle of everything. They're like in the middle of round. They're in the middle of square. I mean flat. They're in the middle of flat, round. They're pretty much everything. And if you notice, my favorite brush ever, the Princeton Catalyst Polytip Bristle, the one I use so much that the wording is gone. This is a filbert. It's called an Egbert. It's like a long filbert. So really handy brushes. Hey Steve, I looked at this image on my calibrated monitor the other day. One calibrated monthly. To be truthful, the image in the top left screen doesn't represent the image insofar as it's completely blown the highlights. And yeah, and not to be critiquing any photographers, because again, this is from a copyright-free resource, so I'm very thankful to have that. But yeah, the highlights are just way too light. So I've had to invent a lot in the painting. Hey Monique, so the different finishes, glazed areas versus non-glazed areas, would not be too noticeable overall. Yeah, you're right. They wouldn't be too noticeable. The whole point for me is to make it transparent and very quiet. I want these glazes to be super quiet. So it's a very transparent buildup of color there. And so far, so good with this brush. I must say, I was a little skeptical just because they're not that expensive, but then again, I've been using like some of the cheapest brushes possible for the longest time, so these are definitely an upgrade. And online students, and the behind the scenes that you're going to have uploaded right after this stream ends, you're going to see I actually took us shopping, which is kind of fun. I used my streaming and filming software to film kind of a shopping spree. I didn't buy anything in the shopping spree, but I took us to Jerry's Artorama, I took us to Amazon, I took us to Michael's. I took us to a really good resource known as Art Treehouse. So you'll see that as well in the behind the scenes. What in the world? I hope your brother's alright. Sorry about that. So I'm pushing this edge away. So see how wet paint, and now I'm going in between to soften the edge. Now this is just completely flat in the picture, so I have to edit this. And now let's go ahead and put in the accent over here. Now one thing I really like about the Alkyds, again I'm using fast drying oil paints. I'm using, again these are all linked in the description box down below. I like these fast drying oil paints because they have a fast dryer in them. So Alkyd, they have an Alkyd component in the oil paint, so it's a homogeneous combination of Alkyed and oil in these paint tubes. So again, these are Griffin Alkyed. Don't confuse them with Winton because they look the same. The silver part here looks the same as Winton, but it's not Winton. This is Winsor, blah blah blah. Winsor Newton Griffin Alkyed. What I like about them is that they have a very, I want to say a very rich, a rich variety of colors that you can obtain with them. They're fast drying, but they don't sink in. I don't know what it is about them, but they don't sink in, which is the biggest problem that I have with pretty much every other brand of paint, including very high quality paint brands. It's just a very nice thing to have, and when you varnish the painting with, you don't have to wait so long because again, this is going to be touch dry in 24 hours. So theoretically, you can use Gamboge picture varnish on it after, you know, like a day has passed. Although I wait at least a week, which is why, you know, if you, it's really not too much of an issue. I seem to have lost internet connection. I hope everyone's still here. I lost internet connection. I was just talking for I don't know how long, and I don't know why. What the heck? Is everyone still here? Huh. Whoa. My computer froze. Or the YouTube page froze. So, let me know if you're still here. Okay, Monique, you're still here. Okay. That was weird. So this part of my YouTube froze, and I'm wondering if that was a glitch because I thought it was my internet, but it's not the internet. I lost connection for a little while. Someone's saying, "I'm glad you're here." Jay Grammer, you're here. Good, good, good. Yeah, it looks like there was an internet problem on my end, or the YouTube problem. Alright, so again, we are completing this painting, which is still at the moment available for special sale. Summertime Fields of Peace. So let's make this very peaceful. Peaceful setting, peaceful lighting. See how I'm pushing the depth in here? Let's see. Hey Julie, missed a question from Jeff. Let's see. Oh, okay, everything. Yeah, it was weird because I wasn't getting any messages. It looks like it unfroze, but all of the messages arrived like really fast, so I scrolled to the last one. Hey Jeff, I finished the painting of my silver gray ghost. Let's see, Weimaraner today. Oh, the dog. Oh, awesome. But up close, the whites look chalky, but at 6 feet it looks great. Is it common when varnished in 6 months? Usually the varnish pushes the darks darker. It makes the paint sheen look a little bit more prismatic. That shouldn't have been the case. So I'm wondering, Jeff, if it's the brand of the white paint that you used, whether it was titanium white or flake white. They both should work well. I'm wondering if it's the paint. Oh, now it froze? So yeah, let me know if if it's not working. So I guess it took a while for the internet to freeze everywhere else. So Jeff, yeah, to answer your question in case the audio didn't go in, that sounds more like the paint to me than a varnish thing. So I'm wondering if the paint that you used, maybe it was like I don't know, like not an artist grade paint, or I don't know, I'm just speculating because I can't really know. My suggestion would be to take a look at which paints that you used. Hey Harjot. So as soon as my Twitch stream ended, I went to the Aldi. I went to the grocery store to get food for dinner. So no, I haven't been at the email, but I know that I have to check your email. A drop in resolution, someone's saying? Uh-oh. That's not good. Oh, look at that. I think we lost some viewers too. Sorry about that, everyone. Snowstorm. Uh-oh. Well, that's not good now, is it? I'm going to start to draw in the curls for her hair. And I'm going to push the dark... Actually, first thing I'm going to do is... I need to think about this carefully. I'm going to add a very bright area of orangey red, and then I'm going to paint into that to get the details of the hair. I'm glad all is good, Archa. I don't know if this will do anything, this kind of orangey glow for the light. But I just wanted to cover at least some of this section with paint before going in with the detail of the hair. Alright, I'll clean off the brush with Gesso. I'm going to mix up a dark value for the hair. ADD, the image on Etsy for sale on this painting is not as well lit as your painting on the site right now. What? Oh no. Hold on a second. Not again. Really? I thought that the lighting was good with this one, but I guess not. So yeah, that's a screenshot from the Etsy listing for this painting, and I thought I took a good picture. I mean, it looked fine on my phone. I apologize for that, but at least you can see it here. Of course, it's not going to look the exact same from one picture to the other, but yeah, I must have had the ISO too low. I think that's what it was. I had the ISO too low. Ingrid, the new brush is working great. No complaints. Hey DD, oh yeah, the studio lighting is a little complex. But you can see like see how there's a cast shadow from the brush going down. If I go over here, you see this shadow on the right. So I have light sources at an angle this way, then I have an overhead light, the room lighting. So let's paint in some of the curls now. And these brushes are handling really nicely. So see, with filberts I can get almost a point like a round. But then if I press firmly like that, it looks like a flat. So I have all kinds of variability now with the brush marks. Stephen, I set up the focal length and the aperture to try to get like the best picture. But I think I was looking through my camera screen, and I guess I should have been looking at the computer screen when I took the picture, because I have the camera set up to my computer. Oh yeah, no problem, Monique. Yeah, I can get a link for these brushes. I'll definitely create a link for these brushes, but I'm gonna test them a little more before I recommend them. Like these paints, I didn't have a link for them for some time until I was sure that they do well enough for me to recommend them. But the first glances here are pretty good with these brushes. See how we're putting in, do you see the difference now between this section and this section? So this, we're going to walk our way up towards here, and maybe even more detail will be put above the hair over there. So I'm painting in every little curl, or every little section of curl that I can delineate. Marshall, these are Winsor Newton Alkyds. So Griffin Alkyd, Winsor Newton. All of these are the same brand. Yeah. Hey Steven, you need an 18% gray card to correctly calibrate your camera. Remind me and I will email you how to do it correctly. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. I gotta contact you for the camera advice. Oh, thanks, Julie, for doing that for me. No, I didn't get an email. I've been looking, but no, I didn't get it. Hey, Jeff, looks like you use very little paint, scumbling. Do you get a build-up with layers instead? Yeah, I usually paint with small sections of paint at a time, but it eventually builds up. So, for instance, Jeff, this was done in palette knife. So, you know, if I want like really, really thick paint, I go in with the palette knife, especially for the background. And it wouldn't make sense here if I didn't put at least some little glimpses of the hair in this dark mass. Oh, hello there from Umber. Oh yeah, thanks, Julie. And again, everyone watching this as either live or as a pre-recorded video, if you know someone that knows someone that happens to know someone that can help me get an official portrait commission. I'm looking into this at the moment. I would like to be able to paint portraits of, like judges, senators, musicians, that type of painting. Somewhere along the footsteps of Sargent and Shanks. If I'm good enough to do that is up to you, but I'm really looking into establishing portrait commissions like those. So tips about posting, sure. Well then if I don't say that, then no one will know. And thanks for your suggestions. So I'm just letting the red kind of fade in, so it's not just one like chop. So before it was a little too fake. It was just like dark and then all of a sudden chop, like light. And that's what it looks like, unfortunately, in the picture. So I have to invent sections of warmth in here. Hey Monique, I mean, it would just be like an honor to me, really, because those are the footsteps that many portrait painters in the past have gone. Hey Neek, something that really frustrates me is I could be painting a portrait and think everything's going well, but then I look at it from a mirror and notice the proportions are way off. I definitely use a mirror. So for instance, I have a mirror over here, so you can actually look at that. You can see the look at how much paint is there. Look at the paint buildup on the palette. But in any case, yeah, I do use a mirror. I look at the painting from the mirror. Oh, thanks, Tony. At the moment, I have teamed up with my fiance, so she's helping me with a lot of social media stuff and everything. So I have her help at the moment. And I hope that everyone can see these strands of hair and planes, not really strands of hair, but planes that I'm inventing here. Hey Harjot, gonna head out. I have a 9-paragraph essay and a final on Monday. Oh wow. Yeah, no problem, Harjot. Best wishes on that. I remember those days. Alright, so at least this section of the hair now looks like it makes more sense. Although I hope you can see it. Hey Nick, sorry if you answered this question, but why do artists let the paints build up on their palette rather than cleaning it after every session? Well, the true answer I think is just convenience. Although a more practical answer would be that you can always dig into it and get fresh paint out of it. But also I've heard other artists say that it helps to absorb the oils if you put paint layers on top of paint layers. For me, it's more of a convenience thing, though. I still, like, if I dig over here, I still have some paint from, like, this morning. So it's more of a convenience thing for me. But a great question, though. Yeah, yeah, Mariah. Yeah, I mean, if you clean your palette every time, that works too. I mean, I do that with some palettes. Some of my wooden palettes to me are like Ferraris, so I don't let paint dry on it. But for my 9 to 5, or in particular my just like I'm basically working non-stop these days, but my palettes usually look like this now just because I'm working non-stop. I mean, I don't even think I've had a single day off in over a month. I mean, there's always some kind of studio work I have to do, or online work that I have to do. So if you imagine that, I mean, imagine not having a day off in over a month. Your paints will look like this. This will happen to your palette. Trust me, this will happen. But it's not going to harm the paints or anything. Hey Jeff, how do you avoid symmetric patterns when painting hair? Good question, good question. How do I avoid that? I'm trying to avoid it by moving the brush around and not staying in one spot. So I'm trying to avoid... So Jeff's question is excellent, because what I'm trying to do, as he's noticing, what I'm trying to do is put variety into the curls for the hair. Some brush strokes will be longer, other brush strokes will be shorter. So it all really depends on where the brush lands, because I'm not trying to deliberately plan out where every mark is going to go, because that would take days if I were to paint like that. And I do have to clean the brush every once in a while, just because the paint dries. Hey Marshall, no, I've never put epoxy resin on a palette. What does that do? Does it just like varnish the wood or something? Hey Neeks, I painted on a canvas panel for the first time the other day and absolutely loved it. Much better than painting on paper. The oils take much longer to dry. Oh, I really love panels too. I'm glad that you're trying out panels. Yeah, panels are awesome. Though I will say that I have recently received a shipment of double oil primed linen, fine texture, that I bought on sale, of course, at Jerry's. And I've already stretched a larger canvas with it. I'll be starting on a painting on it soon. I won't be painting on oil primed linen, at least I don't think, for these paintings, just because the oil primed linen, it's intended for larger format paintings, or you know, like the official portrait commissions. I would use only oil primed linen. If you've ever stretched or have never stretched oil primed linen before, it's definitely a workout. The linen is much more sturdy, which I love that about linen. Hey Steven, there's a French artist who used a 10-foot table as a palette, and Devants a whole tube of paint at a time. Oh, devours a whole tube of paint at a time. He sometimes used to paint that paint that has been on his table for years. I mean, yeah, it gets sealed off. The outside layer gets sealed off. Hey, Dr. Harris. Oh, no problem. Thanks for joining. Oh, thank you. Hey, Marshall. I'm wondering if it would save damage on the wood palette. I think most wood palettes, they're just designed to take a beating, really, from years and years of painting. Hey Michael, hi from the UK, really great work. Well, thank you. The expression on this painting is different in a very subtle way. My question is, would you just allow the painting's own expression to speak, or to strive to replicate the reference? Definitely the first thing you mentioned. I won't be chasing the image that I'm seeing there. I don't in particular tend to paint like that. You know, like a very photorealistic or something like that. I tend to do my best to interpret information and create a painting instead of trying to make it perfect. Perfectly similar to the photograph. Though there's nothing wrong with that style of painting if that's what someone likes to do. And I'm pushing the color a little bit brighter along the edge of the hair, just because I feel like it's too flat in the photograph. Jeff, how do you like using 4 values throughout the 3-session process? Will you continue to use? I will continue to simplify my values. Whether I always count is, I probably won't always count them. I'll point them out from time to time. I do enjoy simplifying the values. We're talking about groups of 4. I'd like to have groups of 4 in sections. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 being the dark over here. So, I mean, I try to keep it relative to a given shape. Oh, I see what you mean, Stephen. Hey Monique, I might recommend the Canvas Pad Deluxe Professional Oil Prime Linen Pads. Yeah. They come in 1114. But then I'd have to stretch them into a smaller, I think. It'd have to be a little bigger, I don't know. Hey, someone's saying, will you be revisiting her shoulder? The angle of the shoulder to her upper arm seems a little off. Maybe it's just me. The shoulder, yeah, I think I need more light over here so it matches with the clavicle a little bit. So yeah, let me just get to that. Good observation. Hey Percy, is it inaccurate painting when it's not hyper-realistic? In theory, everything is inaccurate, even the most hyper-realistic painting. I don't care how realistic someone tries to paint, it's never going to be accurate. It's never going to be exact, and that's just because we're humans. It's never exact. We can approach it, you can approximate it, but it's never exact. And it's up to the painter, really. I mean, it's up to your own individual taste. I don't really fancy like super realistic finishes in my own paintings, but it's just my own aesthetic. Let's see. Hey Monique, sure it could be glued onto a panel. That's true. That's true. Hey, great question. Yes, the new brushes are different sizes. I'll show you in a second. Okay, so I raised the clavicle a little bit. A shape for the clavicle there. So hopefully that helps. I don't know if it does anything. So I'm going to clean this off with, see how it's dripping with the Gesso, and I'll show you. The brush sizes that I chose. I'll start off with these. They're all pretty much the same except for some of them. So I bought a whole lot of size 2, which is what this one is, and I think it's the one I'm using. If I'm yeah. So size 2, that's what I'm using right now. So I bought a whole lot of these. How many? I forgot to count. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this one makes 5. So I bought 5 size 2, and I bought 2 size 1. So this is a size 1. I may use it in these areas, or I may just switch to the smaller round brushes. We'll see. And then I bought a whole bunch of size 4s. So these are all size 4 filberts that I bought, all from the same brand. So far I really like it. They hold the paint really well. We'll see how long they last. I'm thinking they'll last really well. If you compare this to what I've been using, okay, so these are the ones I bought in bulk at the local art store. These, most artists, and I'm not kidding you when I say this, most artists would consider these to be garbage. I use them in such a way that I don't cake on a lot of paint. So that's where bad quality brushes would be a problem if you use a lot of paint at one spot. If you're painting small portions of paint at a time like I do, you can use even the worst quality brushes really and get a decent lifespan out of them. This is a luxury to me, to be able to have higher quality brushes. I didn't have the means to get these brushes in the past. Now I can afford some still discounted but moderately decent quality brushes. I don't think that the total price for all of these brushes went over $70 US. So if those were like, I don't know, like the high-end brushes, then I probably would have paid in the hundreds for that many brushes. Instead, I paid, I think, less than 70, if I recall correctly. AJ Grammar, could it be the anatomy of the arm that's slightly off, where the dress meets the back of the arm? Dress meets the back of the arm. Oh, you're right. You're right. Radius, ulna, and humerus don't look like they like each other too much. Yeah. Let's do something about that. And I'm going to have to move probably the whole shoulder. And even if I do have to move it out, it doesn't bother me. Alright, now I'm going to put this brush to the test because I'm going to use a lot of paint. And the question is, does this brush pick up paint? And it does. It picks up paint pretty well. So even when I switched to using a ton of paint, which to most would still be considered a small amount of paint, it helps to push much better than the brushes I was using before. This is night and day compared to the other brushes that I had. Hey Jay Grammar, no problem. You know, I can quickly tell the difference between someone that's helping me, offering me advice, and then someone that's just trying to pick at me. So, you know, if I read a comment that starts with the first thing they say is they hate this or they hate that, then no, I usually don't really read them. But now, Jay Grammar, you noticed something that I didn't notice. The humerus and the radius ulna weren't communicating with each other that well. So, no, you're right. Don't feel bad. You definitely helped. That's probably something I would have noticed like a year from now. Especially if this painting, you know, failed to sell, and then I noticed it a year later. I'm like, dang it, maybe if I'd seen that, somebody would have wanted this painting. And I don't know, maybe you helped me make the sale if we do sell this one. So let me just continue to adjust. So when you change one thing, you have to change everything around it sequentially. Can't change it all at once. So this needed a nice glaze anyway. So let's do a broad spectrum glaze. Just made that term up. Let's just do a broad glaze over that. Cool. It's gonna probably need a hint of light. Next, this whole thing is gonna be adjusted now. And I'm gonna look at the comments in a second. In a second. All right, let me see what's up. Let's see, Monique, exactly, Kathy. Kathy, lovely. My favorite thing you do is making corrections. Oh, awesome. I'm glad that you enjoy that. Edward Soto, hey, Pari did some research on paints, and I learned that if your white paint it has zinc on it, it will destroy your painting in the long run. I've heard the same thing about zinc white, yeah. Hey, Jake, Grammar. Oh, good. I'm glad that you like the change. I still gotta adjust this and this relative to this. But Jay Grammar, you saved me, buddy. You definitely saved me by pointing that out. Hey Monique, I just fixed it. What did I fix? Let's see. Hey Percy, it is beautiful. I would never get to that high level of painting skills. Yes, you can, Percy. I personally believe that everyone watching, everyone that's been here with us, I believe that everything that I'm showing you is something that I can teach you. Now, in the virtual painting sessions, this is not building. This is not. As I always say, the virtual painting sessions are not online classes. My online classes are, again, if you want to type patreon.com/upariartist and look for that, the $10 a month mentor tier, that builds you up sequentially so that you can take on more and more complex painting projects. But in any case, what I'm trying to say is that I believe that drawing is something that anyone can learn. Drawing is something that anyone can learn. Now, anyone can learn how to paint if they can draw. Therefore, if drawing is something that anyone can learn, and anyone that can draw can paint, therefore, anyone can paint, as long as you put in the effort to learn how to draw, and at the same time, you enjoy it. If you enjoy it, to me, if someone asks me, someone walks up to me and they're like, I just have no talent, I have no ability to do anything. Let me tell you what, talent is when you enjoy something. If you truly enjoy it, you have a talent for it. I don't care what it is. If you really enjoy doing it, you have a talent for it. Because in my opinion, talent is when someone has the drive and the motivation to do something. That is your talent. You right there. If you enjoy what you're doing, that is your talent. I don't care what anyone says, because if you enjoy what you're doing, that's what motivates you to continue to do it. So the more time you spend doing the thing that you want to learn, the better and the better you'll get at it. And that's as simple as that. Hey Monique, you fixed it, the area that Jay Grammer mentioned. Oh, good. Let's see. Steven, arm-dress relationship is a little tidier now. Is that a good or a bad thing? I don't know. Hey Angela, hey Pari, I finally started Mo. So this is project 4. It's my first portrait with a hat. My family loved already, and I am on the underpainting. Okay, awesome. He's one of my friends. Awesome, Angela. Yeah, I can't wait to see it in the virtual classroom. Okay. Yep, this is true, as Ingrid has written there. Alright, so I moved this. I'm not convinced with this. After doing this change, I'm pretty sure something here has to change. I don't know what yet. I'm looking for the 7 cervical vertebrae. I'm following this down towards the clavicle. I'm trying to find an anatomical landmark. I have to pause for a second. Yeah, this is just too round. So moving this would push this skeletal structure up here. This wouldn't make sense if I left it like that. It has to be a little more flat. It would have to be more flat to make sense with the shoulder resting here. I go by the spine, 7 cervical vertebrae over here. So I know the corner of the shoulder here, so I know that this has to be a flat plane. Regardless of what, excuse me, regardless of what the photograph says, I know that this has to be a flat plane. Hey Steven. Oh yeah, your painting in the virtual classroom was awesome. Definitely can make some art prints of it. So where the clavicle meets over here with the humerus is a bony landmark that I teach my students. So this is a section here that I have to be very careful of delineating, regardless of what the photograph has to say. So now, can you see this, everyone? Can you see the humerus going up, clavicle, and then riding across the shoulder? Can you see this? This relationship starting to work? Hey Monique, is there a highlight on the top of the shoulder? Scapula back here, that section would have more of a highlight. You can actually kind of see where I put it in the palette knife light. Yeah, I'm going to add a little bit more light there in a second. Hey Neeks, I noticed when painting on canvas the tip of some of my brushes curl outwards. Maybe I need to use bristle brushes instead. That happens with some brushes if the texture, so if you're painting like really aggressively and the texture is too much, that can actually kind of sand off the tip of your brush. I think that would also happen to bristles as well. But that happens, I think that's called like swaying of a brush. I have some brushes that have swayed. Let me see if I can find one. Well, I had them, but... Okay. Oh, there we go. So this one started to sway out. I was experimenting with this brand. I bought like a single brush to experiment, and this is just a really bad brush. I usually don't say bad brush, but yeah, this is a pretty bad one. This is Black Swan, and I don't want to discredit anyone, but I don't think that this would be good for oil painting. It's Black Swan. But again, don't tell anyone I told you this, even though this is a public stream. But in any case, it's just my opinion. This, I'll show you what a not so great brush will do. For instance, let me try to mix this section here, like this light reddish section. And if you're wondering at what point will the brush go wrong, wait for it. There. It flattened out. I don't know if you can see the bristle. It flattened out. So when I mix, it just doesn't take anymore. It's like when I used enough paint, it was like it went from like sturdy to kind of to way too soft. So now this is like, it's like taking the hair from my head and putting it onto here. This would be excellent for acrylic or watercolor if you're using that. So Black Swan brush would be great for acrylic or watercolor. If you're using alkyds like this or any kind of thick oil paints, forget it. It's not that useful. But can you still use it? Yes. And I'm going to show that to you right now. Because I don't want this company calling me up and saying, hey, you discredited us. Suede. I don't know what the term is. It's like the bristle. I wish I could show you a close-up. For instance, this is another cheap brush, but this is a cheap brush that's meant to handle oil and acrylic, or at least acrylic. I don't know if you can see it. When I spin this brush, it's like the hairs are just too weak. But you can still use it. It's still usable. So I'm going to prove to you, just because I don't like this brush that much, doesn't mean that you can't get decent effects from it. And I'm doing this to save myself, because I'm wondering if this company is going to call me up and be like, hey, you trash talking us. And I'm not. I'm just trying to be honest, which gets me into trouble. Yes, my teacher, John DeMartin. Let's see, what did I miss? Did I miss any questions here? Hey Monique, why not mix with a palette knife, then use your brush, as opposed to using a brush to mix on the palette and then moving on to the... I do use the palette knife to mix paint, especially if I'm going to paint like a large section like this. But when it comes to like very articulate or very close in proximity colors and values, then it's a little bit easier for me to use the brush. Hey Dr. Harris, sorry to interrupt, but did you study medicine or anatomy or something, because your vocabulary reminds me of university? I did study some anatomy, but not in medical. I just took artist anatomy when I was in school. Well, thanks, Julie. I'm glad that after coming back, the painting looks better. Hey, Monique, it seems like by the time you read my comment, you've already done it. That's because I type fast and ask immediately after you state something, so there is a lag. Oh, yeah, no problem, no problem. Okay, so, yeah, like I was saying, when it comes to these brushes, the reason I don't like this brush is because it flattens out. Like there's no pushback when I make a brush mark. Just because I don't like the way the brush feels, and sometimes I don't like the way this brush handles the paint, doesn't mean it's a terrible brush. So hopefully I clarified that enough. Now I'm going to clean this brush, put it off to the side, and return to the brushes that I have been using. let's see. Hey Marshall, which do you prefer, a long handled brush or a short handle? Long handled. Definitely long handled, because I can do this with it. No, I'm just kidding. I like long handled because I can hold the brush further back. Let me show you. Long handled brush, I can sit further back or I can stand further back. And I can be like more than, I'd say like 2 feet away from the painting and make a mark. Whereas with short handle, it's like I'm up over here. So with short handle, I'm up over here when I'm painting. Long handle, I'm over here when I'm painting. So I like to be able to be a little further away from the painting. Hey Jeff, what would you consider the next level for you? How far are you from a sergeant level? Very far. What would it take for you to get to that level? I'm going to answer that question now. Me, what do I need? I need to paint from life. I mean, painting from photographs is great, but sometimes when you have to make up a lot of stuff because the photograph is really flat, it's not the best thing in the world. Yes, I am doing more master studies now on Twitch as charcoal studies, drawing studies, which is helping me tremendously. But painting more from nature, I think, is what will help me. So I'm doing self-portraits. I also have my fiance posing for me more frequently now. So that, to me, it helps me out so much. Whenever I can paint from life, it's like when you're aware of the time, when you're aware of a timer, like I always set 20 minutes. She's posing, I have Netflix playing or Spotify or something on the side so that, I don't have her sitting in complete silence. That time factor, also combined with the fact that you're observing from nature, it will catapult you to new levels in painting. New stresses as well. It's much more stressful to many to paint from life. I love it. It's like one of my favorite things ever. But, pandemic and all that means I can't really paint live models that frequently. That, to me, I think will help me to reach those levels that we were talking about in the comments. Ingrid, stiffer brushes, better for oils? Yes, I'd say so. But not overly stiff either. It has to be like a nice combo. Hey Ray Matthews, what is the best brand of oil paint to use? That right there is a very difficult question to answer. It's very subjective to most. To me, if drying time wasn't an issue, I like Williamsburg, Old Holland, and Rublev. Those are my favorites. At the moment, since it's colder where I live, and it takes a long time for my paints to dry, I use Alkyds. So at the moment, I'm using Winsor Griffin Alkyds for that reason. But that can be a good crowd question for everyone. What does everyone think their favorite brand of color is, or oil paint? Hey Ray, is linseed oil the best to use, or can you use poppy seed oil, safflower oil, or walnut oil? So yeah, if we do get a sale, I'll do a happy dance, but I didn't hear the thing. I would say that walnut oil is an oil that dries. It tends to have less yellowing issues, walnut oil. Though the problem with walnut oil is that it takes much longer to dry. Traditionally, artists would use walnut oil in the lights and linseed in the darks because of that reason. Linseed oil is just a nice all-around oil to use. And if we're talking about oils in your paints, poppy seed oil, that I have no clue. Safflower oil, I've heard of. You can use it to slow down your drying speeds. So it's not about which is the best oil, it's which is the best for your circumstances. For me, this is the best because it's the fastest drying. So for instance, if I manage to sell this painting during this stream, if I get so fortunate to sell this painting in this stream, this will be touch dry in 24 hours. But I'll still give it a week to varnish. And then after after a week, I apply the Gamvar picture varnish, and then I'll wait. Gamvar says to wait 24 to 48 hours, so I do exactly that. That's why it takes the paintings 1 to 2 weeks to ship. But yeah, it depends on your circumstances and what you want out of your paints. And yes, I added a little bit of a glow, like a warm glow there. And now I'm going to blend it into here. And I'm going to add this glow also to the corner up here. Is it in the photograph? No. Would it be in nature? Probably. But not in the photograph. I don't see it in the photograph. Hey Marshall, 90% of my paints are Winsor Newton. Yep, that's a really good brand. Hey Helen, the colors are so warm. She looks beautiful. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Hey Neeks, Neeks, I thought you had to wait about a year before varnishing a painting. This was true before Gamvar. Gamvar is the varnish that you can use while the painting is touch dry. And remember everyone, all varnishes are meant to be removed at a certain time, because when you're doing art conservation, when art conservationists are working, they have to remove the varnish, the old yellowed varnish, in order to do restoration to the paintings. So all varnish at some point does get removed. Hey Treasure, 90% of mine are Winsor Newton as well, with some Lucas, Berlin, and Cobra. Whatever's cheap and available. I gotcha. Oh, thank you, Ray. Thank you for your comment. So I'm pushing the brightness over here, and I'm going to push the brightness over here, just so that the light, the light effect glow transitions from here, and then onto the skin tones. So 1, 2, skin tones would be 3, and then background would be like 4, if we're still going with the 4 colors. And I gotta say, I mean, I've been pleasantly surprised with Winsor Newton's Griffin Alkyds. Hey Stephen, I am gradually switching all my brands to Michael Harding and Jackson's, and my new go-to medium is now Michael Harding's new Oleo Impasto Gel, which is a fat medium. Awesome. Well, yeah, see, everyone, at some point, everyone really gets comfortable with a certain medium. It really just depends on like what you're trying to do. Like for me, it's important to have something that's archival, but something that also dries in a reasonable time. Welcome back, Monique has entered the chat. Hey Marshall, since I probably won't be around when conservative measures are necessary. Oh, I probably won't be either. Hundreds of years. I'll be long gone. Hey Omer, while you are making it easier for the camera angle to be watched comfortably, are you undermining your painting ability in terms of accuracy because you are looking from an awkward angle? Yes. Omer, you are correct. I had to get used to it. It's a learning curve for me. Omer, what I'm doing actually, this is going to sound kind of strange, but I'm gauging the proportions from a computer screen. So the computer screen is off to the right. I'm looking at what you're looking at when I'm making the adjustments. Sometimes I'll do this. I'll pick up the panel and I'll look at it at a 90. It's something that I've had to get used to. I wouldn't say that it makes my painting, any worse than it would have been had I been working 90 degrees. But it does complicate the perspective. So I'm constantly looking at what you're looking at by turning my head and looking at my computer screen. So if anything, it's also an advantage for me to be able to see this from the computer screen and see what you're seeing. Hey Monique, she looks like a lioness. Oh, thanks. Hey Jeff, have you ever watched the Master Paint live? What did you pick up after watching? Sorry about the deep introspection. I'm in that kind of frame of mind. No problem, no problem. Now, I want to say I was either dreaming or I was actually there. I need to get this confirmed. But when I was at Studio in Combinati, I remember watching Nelson Shanks paint a demonstration of, I think like Black Swan actress or something. Someone. He painted someone with this like really bright red background. And I remember walking up to the painting, or at least trying to walk up to the painting, but there were too many people in the crowd. Either I dreamt that, or it actually happened. I need to double check with Robin Fry, the artist who I lived with at the time. I'm pretty sure that actually happened, but I don't know. If it did, what I learned from that experience, from watching Nelson Shanks do a demonstration, was that you can arrive at a very, I want to say, you can start off really loose with a painting and make it look like you started off with like a very, fine transfer drawing, and you can make an Alla Prima start look like it was classical. That's what I learned. And that's what I'm trying to do with these paintings. Hopefully I can do that. Make it look as if I carefully drew everything out, built up the underpainting through these glazes, and spent months and months refining it, when in fact I went in Alla Prima working in with shapes. That's what I learned from Nelson. That's one of the things I love about Nelson's paintings. Maybe, I don't know. I don't remember the name. Monique. Hey Dr. Harris, I ordered Gamblin Artist Starter Set yesterday. after you told me that Winton is student grade, and you wouldn't recommend it. Can't wait. Yeah, awesome. Congrats. Uh, congrats, Dr. Harris. Alright, so now I'm going to add kind of a lighter section over here to match these two. This one, and then this one. This has to match now in terms of the lighting. Hey Mary Jo. Or Maria. Maria Jo Pink. So. Hey Dr. Harris. I'm pretty sure I did see him paint that live, but I'd have to. I'm gonna ask Robin. Hey Maria Jo, the picture is almost done. You're right, it is almost done. Which scares me because it hasn't been sold yet, so we'll see what happens. I mean, if anyone that's watching is interested in this painting, as it is available for special sale today, please let me know if you want me to stop the painting at a certain time. That happened, I think, the last 2 sessions ago, or last 2 You Could Own This Painting episodes ago. Hey Neeks, it would be cool to see some of your oil paintings from when you first started, just to see the progress and how much you've improved. Oh, thanks. I have to dig for those. I have one of my first. Actually, you know what? I need to dig it out of the storage space. I have one of the first portraits that I did. My mom posed for me. She sat on a chair by a window, and I remember painting that one and really realizing how much I don't like the smell of liquid. I think I was in high school when I painted that one. And the only reason it exists is because I didn't know it was there. I discovered it like this year. I usually destroy my paintings. Like if I'm not gonna exhibit them or sell them, I paint over them or I just destroy them. And that's just because if I didn't do that, I'd have way too much. Like I wouldn't be able to walk around. That's how many paintings I would have had. Oh, take care, Jeff. Hey, Tony. Yeah, sure. What's your suggestion? Hey, Ray. I work in oil, acrylic, watercolor, and colored pencil. Awesome. Those are great for details. Hey, Harjot. No, everything's good. This has been a easygoing stream, except for some connection loss once in a while. Hey Steven, I saw Hazel, let's see, Hazel Soren give an Alla Prima demonstration many years ago. Oh, I need to look up the name, that sounds awesome. Hey Ray, can you use the studio or student oils with the pro colors. Uh, it's not gonna defy the laws of physics, but again, I would I would suggest the artist grade paints. Hey Tony, I would add silver light next to her head. Oh, you mean here? Like a glow? You mean like a silver glow like this? That might be a good idea. No, thanks, Maria Jo. And push out the sky more. Let me see. Okay. Let's see. I do agree with you that this is too strong of a jump. And then I'm going to go back into this section here and push the sky out like you said. Now let me get a scrubby scrub brush. I'm just going to blend it just so it has a little gradation. Oh, you're right, look at that. Now that looks like it's glowing. See where the yellowish hue where you pointed doesn't show where it comes from? Mm-hmm. Yes, you're right. Thanks, Tony. Scrubby scrub. Wow, yeah, that does make a difference. Alright, I gotta take notes here with this one. I used to know the term for this, when you have a bright light and then you paint like a glow or a light kind of glow next to it deliberately. There's a term for that, I just can't quite remember what it's called. Scrubby scrub brush, just so there's no sharp edges, uncalled for sharp edges. Good job, Tony. Thank you. Now here, yeah, I'm gonna unify that. Hey Tony, sorry I used to make art before my TBI screwed my arm. Oh no. Well, you have a great eye, Tony. Now we're talking. Now this looks like it's emitting light. Yep, let's push this guy back. Yeah, this painting definitely has a lot of texture in the background, contrasted by it almost seems like very thin, transparent glazes. Let's see. Oh, let's see what happened here. Hey Steven, I would use one of the following photography term: backslash, comma, rim kicker, snoot light. We call it rim lighting in painting, but oh, that's what it's called in photography. Different terminology for the same things. Awesome. More light on the cheek to our right. Yeah, I think that would be a good addition too. Okay, I heard that sound. We know what that means. So let's double check what this sound means. Oh wow. Look at that. So we have sold this painting. You know what that means. That means it's happy dance time, everyone. So let's go ahead and pick up the painting. Everyone, join me. Come on, join me, everyone. All of us here. How many of us are here? The 30-something of us that are here. Join me in the happy dance. It's time for happy dance. So, the painting is going to be... I'm going to lift the painting up. And we're going to do the happy dance. So... I sold a painting. Alright, everyone that's with me, raise your hands. This is how you do the happy dance. So you want to join me, right? You're sitting there and you want to join me? Instead of the painting, you go like this. This is a happy dance. This is a happy dance. So do this while I do my thing so we can happy dance together. You ready, everyone? You ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1. I sold a painting. I sold a painting. Now, what do you say? You can say I sold a painting, or you can say I'm awesome. I'm awesome. Go ahead. Say I'm awesome. I hope that you feel happy in these kind of moments because I'm happy, but I want you to be happy as well. So join me. I sold a painting. I sold a painting. What? I sold a painting. I sold a painting. Yes, I know I'm very cringe-worthy, but that's the whole point, right? To make it fun and engaging for you. So once again, I sold a painting. I sold a painting. What? I sold a painting. I sold a painting. Yes, we managed to sell this painting. So as I mentioned, I won't release the name of the buyer unless the buyer would like me to mention their name. So everyone please say congratulations to me and the buyer. And I will wait for the buyer to mention. Did everyone happy dance with me? You can go ahead and laugh at me too. That's valid as well. Hey Monique. Well, no worries, we can make prints of this one too. Yep, join me in the happy dance, everyone. So remember, everyone, for future reference, if you want to say, I'm awesome, you are awesome. I'm not saying I'm awesome, I'm saying you. You sitting right there, watching the stream. You say you're awesome while you're raising your hands. That's how you do the happy dance. So if you want to happy dance with me. Hey Maria Joe, yeah, we sold it. We sold it. Alright, let's see. So I'm trying to see if the buyer has written... I don't see the buyer's name in the chat yet. So I'm going to wait for the buyer to say... I'm going to wait for the buyer to say their name first. I'm not going to mention their name until they say so. I'm glad everyone is enjoying the happy dance. Maria Joe Pink. Yeah, I won't mention the buyer's name until the buyer mentions their name. So let's go into. Actually, I should probably wait for the buyer to tell me, or just let me decide at what point the painting is complete. So Monique mentioned the light. I'm glad you like the happy dance, Ingrid. Oh, that's way too dark. Alright, so as I mentioned, I'm gonna wait for the buyer to say if it's okay for me to mention their name. Thanks for the congratulations, everyone. Oh, there we go. The mystery buyer art collector has been revealed. So everyone, say congratulations to Helen. So everyone, say congratulations to Helen for purchasing this original oil painting. And of course, Helen, you're also going to have in the box, you're also going to have a surprise bonus painting study signed by me on a sheet of canvas. So come on, everyone, let's get these comments rolling through with the congratulations to Helen. And then, of course, Helen, I'm going to ask you at which point you think the painting is complete. Of course, I'll let you know when I think the painting is complete, and then you can tell me if there's something you want me to adjust on the painting. So remember, the paintings are, I let them dry for a week, and then I varnish them with the Gamboge picture varnish. Give that 24 to 48 hours. Then it's on its way. I create its own box, and then I ship it through priority mail, and you get your tracking number and everything. So yeah, I'm just adding a little bit more light here. Oh, awesome, Helen. I'm glad you're doing the happy dance in the UK. And yes, everyone, we can ship international. That is an option at the USPS over here. Take care, Tony. Thanks for the suggestions. So this is too sharp of a plane change here. I want to adjust that. Alright, so I'm going to remove the pin on the comment. This painting has been purchased, so I will remove the pin. Hey Ray, oh no. Yeah, some artists have used Damar in their mediums in the past, and no, that's actually been proven in the lab to be very bad for the paint film. So I would never use varnish as a medium. Artists have used that in the past, but that has been shown to actually cause a lot of problems with the paint film. So I would suggest only using varnish when the painting is dry, but not as a medium. So Helen, of course, let me know if you want me to change anything or to adjust anything, or if you want me to decide. It's up to you. Hey Ray, I'm glad to help. I've even read of some artists in the past that would actually varnish their transfer drawings, or like varnish their paintings in between painting sessions, and that has catastrophic effects to the paint film. So yeah, as long as you use varnish after the painting is at least touch dry. But yeah, during the painting, it's not a good idea. Alright, so now I've put a little bit more light there. I think I still need a little more light on the palm over here. Anyway, some years ago I used copal as a medium and it darkened noticeably. I don't think I've used that one, but I've heard of it in mediums before. Hey Maria, Joe Pink. Yeah, we did it. We managed to sell the painting. And the best part is when you get to own one of these paintings, one of these virtual painting session paintings, you're owning a painting that belongs to a series of paintings, and you have a unique advantage as an art collector in that you see the entire process of the painting on camera, and you're also part of the conversation in the creation of the painting. So it's a very unique experience, I find. Now clearly you can see like there's thick paint here where I put in the palette knife of the blue, and now I'm just going over and just leaving a little tiny glimpse of the blue there. Hey Helen, the painting is just beautiful, and I like the adding of a little bit more light. Awesome. And that's the direction I was heading in with the painting, with the light, so awesome. I'm glad that you like the way the painting looks. Hey Tony, sorry, another thing I noticed is the right cheekbone is predominant. Okay, alright, there we go. So balancing this with this. I got you. I got you. Thank you, you are saving me. Let's see. Hey Tony, where do I live in Beltsville, Maryland. About 20 to 30 minutes away from DC. And Marshall, generally I do an underdrawing. I'll spray fixative on it before proceeding to the painting. Glenn, I use fixative spray over my underdrawing before I paint and underpainting. Is that okay? I've heard of artists that do that. Off the top of my head, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, as long as it's workable fixative. Yeah, I mean, if anyone watching here is in the Baltimore or Northern Virginia area, basically if you're in the DC area and if you want to meet up after the pandemic is over, you could probably paint together somewhere. So I definitely agree with what Tony said. Before this angle was off, I was trying to adjust it before, but I managed to lose the shape. Now this plane and this plane seem to be communicating with each other much better than before. So thanks again, Tony. Let's see. Hey Matt K, how you probably? What is the mixing white Alkyed? I'm wondering if you know. How does it differ from titanium white? Mixing white probably is similar, or I guess their version of flake white's replacement. I'd have to double check that. I haven't tried it yet. That's probably something I should try out. Hey Monique, I loved going to the Portrait Society of America conferences in DC. Yeah, I would love to meet you in person too. Good one, Marshall. Hey Tony, it's the makeup that glares. Oh. Yeah. This definitely, that definitely I think was a big thing to get this plane to fit. So you gotta imagine this is the center line, and you have to imagine even though the head is tipped down and turned and at an angle, that this projection here for the cheekbone, our good old zygomatic, in particular zygomatic major section here would also be the same over here. You know how we have bilateral symmetry. Of course, we tend to vary from individual to individual, but trying to get those angles to match was important. Thanks, Ingrid. Oh, you're in Pittsburgh, Tony, so you're pretty close, relatively speaking. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is add a little bit more of a dark value here and delineate the edge of the fingers. But in terms of light, I think we're almost there, except for I almost forgot to add a little bit more light on the radius ulna. Hey Ray, you're in Southern VA, so yeah, that's pretty close. Oh, I like this. There's little glimpses of the phthalo blue that I'm painting over. Do you see that, everyone? The glimpses here of the phthalo blue. Without the worry of phthalo blue disrupting the skin tones. Yeah, we can look into that, Julie. Hey, Marshall, you were raised in Virginia. Well, someone else is close, or at least was raised somewhere near me. Alright, so more light, but not too much light. I'm beginning to wonder if I want these traces of blue to show after all. The more I paint, the more I kind of don't want these traces of blue. And this, I wonder how no one has pointed that out yet. I'm glad I saw that. The wrist wasn't matching. Unless someone did point it out and I didn't read it. Before that, her wrist was a little swollen. Like my left wrist kind of is. My left wrist is kind of messed up. But yeah, let's adjust this. Ooh, and that gives it more light now. Oh, good. Yeah, Monique, definitely. It's December, isn't it? Yep, it's December. Yep, I don't think I gave enough notice, though, for the first of the month chat. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize it was the first Sunday of the month. Yeah. So everyone, one of the features that I have, thank you so much, Monique. So one of the features that I have in the Patreon is the first Sunday of the month. What do we call it? The live chat. So yeah, Monique. Yeah, we have to have that either tomorrow, and if everyone misses it, then I can also do a second one next Sunday. Yeah, I couldn't believe December. It's already December. Yeah, Monique, I think I might have to schedule it for next Sunday. I was thrown off because I had to reschedule it last Sunday or last month. So let me get back to you after the painting, after I complete the painting. So I want to make sure that I do the best that I can with the painting before calling it complete. Hey Kathy, it's fine with me to do the following week so Julie can come. Oh yeah, Julie, if you wanna, okay, yeah. If you wanna join, you know what? We can even, yeah. So next week, yeah, we can do it next Sunday. Yeah, all right, everyone. On Patreon here, we can do that next Sunday. Okay, what was I gonna do? I was gonna adjust that section there. So, yeah, I'm gonna fill in the dark over here. Then I'm gonna sit back, see if there's anything else I have to change. Then I'll probably add a few more details to the earring. Then we should be about there. Alright, let's get to the earring now. Oh, what time next Sunday? So everyone that's talking about the live chat on Patreon, it's always 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will post on Patreon the link. And a few more details about it too. So let's go ahead and put in some more of these blue accents. So Helen, again, let me know. I'm adding more details to the earring. I put in a lot more light there. And I'm still wondering if I'm going to take out the traces of blue that I had left there. Although I think I might want to leave them, but let me know, Helen, if there's anything that you see here that you want me to adjust. So Helen, this is the one with the most variation in texture out of all of my paintings that I've done here. If you look over here, Helen, when you receive this painting, this color is the tone of the panel. So we go from the tone of the panel, you know, the tone that it was before I started painting on it, to the thickest of the thickest texture over here, to like this very kind of glazed, I don't know what the term is, like glazed and soft transitions here. very thick palette knife sections on the highlights and then glazed over, and then very thick paint in the shadows. So Helen, there's a lot of variation in the textures. So let me know if you see something in the texture right now that you want me to adjust, or anything you want me to change. Sfumato, oh, okay. There we go. Oh, take care, Ingrid. Have a good night. And so, yep, there is a link to the online classes over here. Also, in the online classes, you have access to the live chat as well, the chat that everyone was talking about earlier. That's one of the benefits of the online class. Alright, I'm gonna take the artistic liberty here, since I don't think I've heard back from Helen about this light. I'm gonna adjust it. Because I feel like, at least to me, it was not making as much sense. The little remnants of phthalo blue that I had. Hey Helen. Oh, thank you. I won't let the juniors make any decisions on the painting. It's a great masterpiece, and a lot of work has gone into this painting. Well, thank you for your kind words. And I do think that the little increments of phthalo blue that I had will show through, but I think that I am going to unify it so it's not too blue here, but no light over here kind of thing. I just want it to be uniform. This is going to be somewhere along the lines of what Tony was telling us earlier, but on the arm. And I'm letting the blue show through. Do you see this, everyone? As a glow. I'm trying to create a glow with that, and it's actually working. So it's almost like this mystical glow that we have on the rim of the rim lighting is what it's called, but it's kind of like a nice glow. This is too too strong though, so I'm going to minimize that and let it be just a slight trace of light. Okay, so now it's more of a, I think this is more believable, where you have kind of this bluish glow over here. And then you have the little stream of light, and now it's going to kind of radiate across, or rake across, towards the skin tones. And then after that, I'm going to adjust some of the hair shape here, because, you know, I wouldn't leave it looking like that. So after that, I think it should be about done. It's possible to overstate some aspects in a composition, so I have to be very careful not to overdo anything or to overspell out anything. And I always say that in the ending of a painting, I almost don't even need the reference anymore. Because if you think about it, in the future, you know, no one is going to trace the painting to the model and say, oh, it's, you know, you're like 0.27683%, you know, off in the likeness, or, you know, no one's going to do that. You know, you don't look at the Mona Lisa and say, oh, Leonardo didn't get the likeness right. I know, because I time traveled and I made sure that the likeness wasn't correct, you know, something like that. Like, no one's going to do that. You know, as a painting for me, a portrait painting for me is a painting first. Thanks, Julie. So yep, last adjustments to the hair in this section here, and then it should be good. Now I don't want to make it too symmetrical, so see how this strand of hair and this strand of hair, they're very close, but this strand of hair is a little bit further away from this one. So I'm trying to, you know, impose as much irregularity as I can. And now I'm going to go over this with the light, so it has that glow that we established over here. Hey Steven, I still haven't finished my Mona Lisa study, which I started in January. Oh wow, that's awesome to have a painting that you're that you've layered that many layers of paint on. Definitely just make sure that Stephen, that the ratio of oil that you use, that you follow the fat over lean. Also, make sure that the medium that you use stays consistent. Notice I don't really jump around with mediums. Alkyed pretty much all the way with the oil paints. Even the medium itself has alkyd resin in it, the Venetian medium. So last little adjustments in the light, then we should be good. We got about 20 something of us here still. So for the 20 something of us that are still here, if you would like to do an encore happy dance, we can do that. Remember, you can happy dance along with me, no matter where you are in the world. So of course that would be after I sign the painting. I'm pretty sure I'm going to sign it over here. If I sign it over here, I think it would take away from here. If I sign it over here, it'd be a little too scrunched. Here, it would be a little too scrunched. So I think this is the best place to sign it. Hey Helen, have you done a Mona Lisa demonstration? That would be great to see. I don't think I have done a Mona Lisa one. No, that's an idea. Hey J Grammar. Alright. I know someone out there is interested in a happy dance. Encore happy dance when we finish this one. Hey Steven, I've done a lot of research on oil paint recently and will only use those paints where the manufacturers tell you how much oil is in the paint. So Michael Harding paints, of course. Hey Helen, yep, alrighty. We will do the signature. And I definitely put this brush to the test today. It was the only brush I used to actively apply paint today. And it's pretty fine. Like it doesn't seem to be phased at all. So, works pretty well, I would say. Alright, so now I'm actually going to have to switch to one of my other brushes for the signature, of course, because I need a round brush to sign. So I'm going to sign with a greenish middle gray. That should be good. So compositionally, this seemed like the appropriate place for me to sign. But of course, if you would like me to move it, Helen, I can move it. I'm just making sure the 2 looks like a 2. And of course, the painting will come with a certificate of authenticity with a matching signature. And all the art prints, if anyone's interested in art prints, are signed on the back side. I signed them, so you have a matching signature there too. So you see I raised the signature a little bit here, just because I thought it would make more sense, I guess, than having it down here. But I hope that's okay. Where I signed it, Helen. Hey Nicola, can you show us where you put your camera? That should be possible. I just have to take my my me camera, the camera that's pointed towards me, off its tripod. It's possible. Thanks, Julie. So again, everyone, I'm just waiting for confirmation from Helen to see if she approves of where I put the signature. And if she approves, then we will get into the encore happy dance. If she wants me to move the signature anywhere, I can do that. I'm just waiting for confirmation. So I'm just still here waiting. Any questions, everyone? Okay, I'm glad that you approve of the location of the signature. So there are still 20-something of us here. Does anyone... no problem. Does anyone want to join me in an encore happy dance? And if you do, remember, when I say I sold a painting, you say I'm awesome. But by I'm awesome, I mean you're awesome. I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about you. You're awesome. Because every time we sell a painting here in the virtual painting session, this is an us thing. This is a painting that has been created completely live, again, in the virtual painting session. So this is part of a series of paintings. Alright. Who's ready for the... Okay, I see the emojis. We're ready for the happy dance. Remember, when I say my thing about that I sold a painting, you say that you're awesome. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Last minute touch. This didn't make sense to me. Give me a second. Okay, there. Alright, that's it. That's the last brush mark. Last brush stroke, and we have managed to sell the painting. So you know what time it is. You know what time it is, everyone. You ready? Drum roll. You ready? Alright, I hope you're ready. Whoa, the microphone isn't ready. Looks like the microphone's about to fall off. Alright. Alright, everyone. I sold a painting. I sold a painting. What? I sold a painting. I sold a painting. What? I sold a painting. I sold a painting. Encore? Yes? Okay. I sold a painting. I sold a painting. I sold a painting. I sold a painting. So, I hope that you enjoyed watching the development of this painting from the very first brushstrokes to the very last brushstrokes to the moment in which this painting has been sold. So this painting now will be heading its way soon to Helen in the UK. So thank you so much, Helen, for again giving an artist the best compliment that an artist can ever receive when someone purchases an original artwork from them. Everyone, I hope that you enjoyed. I'm going to hang out for a little bit longer. I'm going to clean off the palette, so please feel free to type any questions that you may have. Hey Nicola, I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday here on YouTube, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I also stream on Twitch. I stream on Twitch the same days, but different hours. 2 o'clock p.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that is Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, 2 o'clock p.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, drawing videos on Twitch. 5:30 p.m. till who knows how long is the painting streams here on YouTube. So technically, I stream 6 times a week for the public, and then my online classes I stream a lesson in the morning on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, so that makes 6 to 9 days, or 9 times, a week that I stream. Not just that, I also create behind the scenes and virtual classrooms, so that's 11 streams, that's 11 videos, let's just say 11 videos that I produce a week. And on top of that, there's Zoom. So that's 12, 13, yeah, grand total 13 videos a week. So, yeah. I love this, though. I mean, it's really, I feel very fortunate to be able to do this. And our community continues to grow, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing. So please check out Patreon if you want to see the, if you want to have access to the online classes. Again, check out the live stream tier if you would like to watch the lessons streamed live. Hey, Helen. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Helen. And I'll be sending you updates on Etsy. I'll be sending you the photograph once I get the official photograph of this painting, which will be very soon. And then I'll update you on when it's varnished, and then I'll update you on when it's on its way. Alright. So let's see. Any last questions, everyone? So I'm gonna hang out for like another minute after I've cleaned off the palette and the brushes and everything. So I'm gonna just wait and see if there are any more questions. If there are no more questions, then I will be seeing you again soon, but let me wait for a little while. I'm just waiting for any last questions. Don't be afraid to say that there are no questions. If someone doesn't have any questions. Hey Edward, my sister just walked up on me dancing. That's awesome. Nah, man, don't worry about it. Be yourself. Don't worry. No problems. Hey Edward, do you talk with the students in your live stream too? Yes, I do. I talk with them as the lesson is being filmed. Well, take care, Stephen. So don't be afraid to do the happy dance, everyone. Happy dances, as long as the happy dance brings a smile to your face, that's what matters. Okay, it seems like that's all of the questions from everyone. Yep, would love to have you there in the Patreon, Edward. Alright, so that's been about a couple minutes now. So seems like I have answered everyone's questions. I wish you all the very best in all of your artwork, and yes, I'm glad you enjoyed the happy dance. Remember, we had an encore happy dance, so remember, everyone, in the future with the happy dances, remember to say "I'm awesome" out loud, as loud as you can, or at least as loud as you would like. And it doesn't matter if anyone walks in and sees you doing a happy dance, as long as you're happy, you're smiling. You know, happiness is contagious. Being positive is contagious. So let's be as positive as we can, and just make everything that much more positive. That being said, I wish you the very best in all of your artwork, and I'll see you on the next one.